So this song was written in 1861 during the height of the Civil War by a woman named Julia Howe, with an E at the end. And she was she was a kind of like a political activist for her time. Her father also was, and she walked in his footsteps. And they both were very adamantly against slavery. And they did everything they could in their power to fight back against that, and in their state of Massachusetts, but as well around the Union. In the year 1861, her and her father, with some of their other family friends, were able to take a trip to Washington, D.C. And during this trip, she had the opportunity to tour a nearby Union camp, a war camp. And while she was taking this tour of the camp, she heard some soldiers singing a song dedicated to John Brown, a man made famous for leading a group of slaves against their masters, and he ended up being executed for that. And while she was there, she heard this song, and the music really resonated with her. She loved the tune, but she thought that the lyrics could use some work. And with some encouragement from her pastor, who had gone on this trip with her, she ended up getting to work rewriting the lyrics to this ballad. That night, while she was trying to come up with lyrics, she was kind of frustrated. She didn't really come up with anything that felt right in her scribbles. And she ended up going to bed a little upset, a little frustrated with herself. However, in the middle of the night, in the early morning, before the sun was rising, she awoke, and the lyrics of this song were in her mind, were covering her thoughts. And she lay very still as the lyrics seemed to compose themselves in her mind. And as the last verse was lining itself up, she got up and frantically searched for paper and pen to jot down these verses for the song, knowing that if she waited, she would forget them. And so she frantically found her paper and pen, and she wrote down the lyrics to the song Battle Hymn of the Republic. And after doing so, she went back to bed and pretty quickly fell asleep with the feeling that something very important had just happened to her, something almost beyond herself. And we see in these verses of the song that she was very adamant, not only about her country, but about God. In the last verse, it says, "Christ died to make men holy. Let us live to make men free, while our God is marching on." So we see that she understood how God works through us to reach others. So thank you. Let's bring the music.